I'm originally from Florida. I was actually born in Cocoa Beach, and I'm the oldest of 8 children, so grew up in a large family. And we moved around quite a bit due to my dad's career in the Army at the time. We actually ended up back in Florida, where I finished up middle school, high school, and even began college. But growing up, I played a lot of sports. I got into music, especially in high school. Started playing bass guitar and got into heavy metal, hardcore music. But regarding my faith life, I never stopped practicing my faith or never stopped going to Mass, but I became very lukewarm, particularly in high school. Basically, just was a Sunday Catholic. But I remember very clearly going into college, and it was after my first semester of college, and my family decided to go up to Alabama for Christmas vacation that year. And we ended up going to the Shrine of the Blessed Sacrament. Again, I remember it very clearly. It was the Midnight Mass in the year 2000, and I was very much struck by the reverence that I experienced in the Mass, by the use of the Latin, by the nuns singing. Interiorly, I felt a very strong draw, a pull to the priesthood that I did not experience, going into that Mass before we had gone to that Mass. But I told my mom afterwards, I think I'm called to the priesthood. It was just something that was so powerful that I experienced during that Mass. And on our way back down to Florida a couple of days later, we stopped by EWTN, and we were in the gift shop. And I remember my mom asking me, she confronted me, she said, "Well, do you want to talk to a priest?" And I hesitated because I didn't know what I was going to say to a priest. I just knew something happened to me interiorly. But I said, okay. And at that time, Father Anthony was our vocation director, and he came down and we spoke. And I remember he gave me a biography of St. Francis and a book on total consecration to Our Lady, according to St. Louis Marie de Montfort. And he said, don't rush it, finish your first year of college, and we'll keep in touch. So I remember I went back down. I was studying at the time in Miami, and I read the biography of St. Francis. I felt really drawn to his zeal for living the gospel and the faith, and especially his simplicity of life. I felt really drawn to that. And it was when, though, I think particularly when I made the total consecration to Our Lady, that I felt very much called to give my life to God, no matter what direction, what area of life He was calling me. And ended up setting up a visit to visit the friars. This was the summer of 2001. And it was like the best 5 days of my life when I visited. I think there were 8 of us visiting that year. And I had no doubt, about being drawn to this community. And I would end up entering in the fall of 2002. And my classmate was Father Leonard. And it's really been a great grace and a gift to serve as a friar and as a priest with the Franciscan missionaries of the Eternal Word.